We're live.
I'm using a stand for the first time.
Guess who's back? Back again.
Wait, what was I saying? We just got bullied by our toddler for about 2 hours, so we're a little delirious. Please forgive that.
Let's go beat his ass. I'm just kidding. I don't hit my kids.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Damn. Not yet.
Fuck around and find out.
Damn.
You know the fuck around, go all the way up, and you find out, right?
Mm-hmm. The graph.
Yeah. He about to fuck around and find out.
He really was testing both of us. We were taking turns being the patient parent.
Like, he doesn't know. He knows the word no, but he doesn't know what no means.
So he just uses
says
it
no
for fucking fun.
Like, Derek, did you poop? No. Derek, do you want to go outside? No.
Okay, then we're not going outside. No.
Yeah, like.
So, anyway, now we're moving along into a different part of our lives. The part where we do a podcast together after our kids go to sleep. And we just debriefed and we watched reels and ate a bowl of cereal for like 30 minutes. So now here we are. And today's topic is, what did I say I was going to title this one? Do you remember?
Something about
y'all are canceling the wrong people. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Y'all are canceling the wrong people. And let me talk my shit on this shit. Okay? And Logan too. Because no. First of all, I'd like to bring up what's current events right now. The current events happening with Hamas, Israel, Palestine, all of that. Okay? I am not educated enough on any of this shit. Like, I have a father who is very conservative Republican that is telling me stuff about Israel relating to Christianity. And then you have basically the entire internet trying to force everybody to take a stance against Israel and say free Palestine, which I don't believe in violence, period. So Israel is bombing Palestine, point blank, period. So do I stand with whichever government is not doing that? Sure. That's my stance on it. I'm not educated enough to have a stance further than that on it. My stance is no stance right now because I don't understand. You can speak on it.
You also don't need to have a stance on it.
Exactly. So that's what we were going to go into.
It doesn't directly affect you. However, if you want to have a stance on it, please, by all means, have a stance. However, you don't need to have a stance on everything.
You also don't need to force celebrities,
people, to have a stance on
and to
what
publicly
you have a stance on.
Exactly.
This is a country of freedom, of do whatever the fuck you please. Do whatever you please. Have a stance on whatever you please. I don't care what you stand for, or just have something to stand on. That's all. So
where I'd like to go with this is, with the current events happening and taking it back to also 2020, Black Lives Matter riots and everything that was happening with that, I decided to take a huge public stance on that. It did not serve me, and it also didn't change anything. That I was arguing with people on Facebook, that I was sharing things on my Instagram stories, that I was trying to organize a styled shoot to take photos artistically to depict current events. Like, none of my work that I was work, quote unquote work, because it's really just anger. It's not work. It doesn't serve anyone. The protesting, sure. I mean, I don't really believe that in this day and age, protesting is getting anybody anywhere because all America is doing is arresting protesters. So I think that if you want to do something about it, social justice wise, that might not be the way. I don't know what the way is, but what I'm saying is just me and you, us ordinary ass people, we're not going to change anything by sharing something on Facebook and then writing 3 paragraphs to elaborate on what we saw on Facebook, or sharing somebody's story on Instagram, or trying to force celebrities to have an opinion, or what's happening right now, blocking celebrities for not talking about Israel and Palestine. What is that going to do? First of all, the celebrity's not going to give a fuck that you block them because they don't follow you.
They don't care.
They don't give a
Taylor
fuck.
Swift follows no one on Instagram.
Not even her
Who's she gonna
lovely
care?
boyfriend, Travis Kelce.
Who she doesn't care.
Does not give a fuck. It's interesting. So I'd also like to say that I think TikTok is causing a lot of this ridiculous mayhem and forcing a lot of people to think that they're changing stuff. But you might be, whenever you're posting something on TikTok and you're going viral, and or you're like posting stuff on Instagram and you have quote unquote a platform because you have a K next to your follower count that says you have thousands. I think people are getting a false sense of reality that they are doing something just because there's a large number of people looking. But the thing is it's not going to Congress. It's not going across the president's desk. It's not being talked about in other rooms that are of important people that have power. So therefore, your work is basically for nothing.
Well, we'll also put it this way. We'll take Hamas, Israel, Palestine, all that. And let's say that you do block a celebrity. Well, okay, we'll say that celebrity is Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber giving his stance on whatever Palestine, Israel, him telling you what he likes about it or what he doesn't like or who he stands with,
endorsing or not endorsing,
or endorses this side or this side. They don't care. They don't care what Justin Bieber has to say, because at the end of the day, they are still going to push their agenda and they're still going to bomb each other. They're still going to fight each other.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what Justin Bieber says.
Justin
or what
Bieber
Taylor Swift
posting
says,
something on his story is not there.
or what Robert Downey Jr. says. Like, it doesn't matter. It does not
Hamas
matter.
is not going to see that on Instagram and say, "Oh my God, Justin Bieber, the heartthrob of 2008, said that we can't bomb anybody and we need
guess
to
we're done,
we need to
boys. Pack it
free
up, go home."
Palestine and we need to stop. We need to have a ceasefire." Hamas isn't going, "Oh God, Justin Bieber said we should stop. We really need to stop."
Like, boys, pack it up. JB said stop. Let's go.
Like, what do you
bro.
the false sense of reality that this has created, like the Black Lives Matter of it all? I was very, very vocal about how I felt about Black Lives Matter. I believed that Black Lives Matter. I very much talked about it very outwardly. I was angry. I was visibly angry about it. Did I change anything? No. Did I cause myself stress?
All you did was cause more divide in your life.
I caused more divide in my life, and I also caused myself more stress, which physiologically affected me.
Mm-hmm. And I did the same thing. Like, you publicly speak and open up about one side that you stand for, and then, half of your followers,
Family.
Family, friends, they're on the opposite side. And I think we as a society take social media way too serious, in a sense of, well, if it's on their social media, that's their entire personality. Granted, it is a viewpoint,
Bird's eye view
of someone's life. But I don't know, losing family and friends over a shared post on social media just doesn't make any sense. Like, that's absolutely silly to argue with someone over the fact that they shared J. Cole's Black Lives Matter post during the time that he
Or
came
they
to
posted a black
Fayetteville.
square on
Or they
Blackout
posted
Tuesday.
a black square where they said something about whatever it was that you didn't agree with. Like, losing family and friends, it's not worth it.
Also, people are
It's
saying about all of the Palestine stuff, people are saying that whenever celebrities and just anybody in general, even me, my unpopular ass from Fayetteville, not posting about it, they're saying that silence is
Silence
siding.
is like louder.
No,
than,
they're saying that silence is siding with Israel. What do you literally mean? Silence is not calling for ceasefire. What
Yes,
is
my silence spoke to you and
my
said that I side with
silence-
Israel.
My silence, because I'm not educated enough to speak on such a thing, my silence and me choosing not to talk out of my ass like I know something that I don't, me choosing not to say ceasefire
You
now.
also don't have to talk about it.
No,
You don't. You are not obligated.
Going to me, little old me with 600 followers on my private account and 1,100 on my podcast account. Me posting something about it, what is that literally going to do? Except for tell you whether you should block me or follow me. Except for tell you who wants the opinion out of me, whether I'm a good person in your eyes or not. It's so stupid. People think that they're so entitled to everybody putting all of their views on the forefront so that they can decide whether or not you're worth following on social media. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And like, people always complain ever since 2020. They're like, oh, there's so much divide in the world. There's so much
There's
blah,
a reason.
Blah, blah. There's so much hatred. There's so much violence.
And it's not the people that are quiet.
It's, yeah, like the people that are quiet are just trying to get through to the next day. They're just trying to enjoy the life that they are given, that they were given, the being thankful that they are not in, a Palestinian's place right now or an Israelite's place.
Being thankful that
be
I
thankful
don't
that
live.
you are not there.
Yeah.
Be thankful that you live in a place of safety.
Being thankful that I live
And
in
just
North
enjoy
Carolina,
people's company.
not in Gaza. I live in North Carolina, and I'm thankful for that.
Trying to poke and prod at people to get an answer out of them that doesn't matter.
And the thing is like, all of us are going through traumatic things or healing from traumatic things in our lives. And just because we don't live in Gaza, everybody wants to say that we're so privileged and we need to use our privilege to speak out. You don't know my story. I might not be an 18-month-old in Gaza learning how to walk and bombs are going off. That is horrible. That does not, not having a stance does not take away from how fucking horrible that is.
I use this, we say this a lot at work about the dudes that were in like the GWAT in early 2000s, 2007 to like 2012, whenever it was like really bad. And they're like, oh, well, you guys missed the GWAT, the war. And I'm like, oh, well, excuse me for being in elementary school at the time that you were deployed to Iraq or Afghanistan. I am so sorry that I wasn't old enough to be there.
It's very much
It's
the same.
their story. It's not your story. Your story is not someone else's. So
Our trauma is not someone
18-month-old
else's.
and that 18-month-old in Gaza, that's their story. It is not your story. Do not make that your story.
And
'Cause
if they
you
live to
can
see
feel
beyond
bad for
it,
them,
yes.
and you can have sympathy, empathy. You can be very upset that they're going through that, but
it's also not good for your mental stability.
It's their story.
It's also not good for
That is
your
what
mental stability.
they're going through.
It's not good for your mental stability to be worried about somebody that you've never met, that you only saw a video of on a social media. People in the 90s did not get that. People in the 90s and before did not have to constantly see news on TikTok. Their news on TikTok. First of all, it's not even on the news. It's news from TikTok. This is why I deleted the app. You're getting on an app and you're getting a For You page, right? And on your For You page, based on who you follow, What's being pushed by the algorithm, what's being pushed by TikTok, what's being pushed by the people that you follow, all of that in accumulation is your For You page. And you'll be scrolling, seeing something extremely hilarious. And then you'll scroll again. You'll see your favorite, Brittany Broski, like me. You'll see Brittany Broski. And then you'll scroll one more. And then you'll see a child with half of their face blown off. And you're sobbing, you're crying, your heart sinks, your chest is heavy. You're hurting for a person that you're never going to cross paths with, that you're never going to experience what they're experiencing. And you knowing about so many people and seeing with your own eyes the trauma of others, seeing blood and gore, seeing things that are very graphic and real constantly on your phone, and you're spending hours and hours and hours in bed on TikTok at night before you go to sleep, that is actually deeply affecting you as well. And it's unhealthy. It's not okay. You honestly, honest to God, I don't care how tone deaf this makes me sound. You need to focus on your life, your trauma, your own stuff. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful you're not there. If you want to raise money, if you want to give to charity, that actually fucking does something. If you want to go to church and give money in the offering plate and your church is donating money to people who are affected by the bombings by Hamas, whatever it may be, that is actually making an impact. You don't have to be on TikTok looking at videos of children with their faces blown off to be able to understand and empathize with those people. I don't know if you want to elaborate on that.
Everybody has a voice. And it's almost like now more than ever, you're expected to use that voice, but not in your own way.
Yeah, you don't get to choose how.
You're not allowed to pick how you use your voice because someone's constantly telling you that you should be speaking about certain things.
Not even someone. Thousands of people on TikTok. That's why I hate that app.
But you still have a choice on how you use your voice. Your voice, if that's, if that is speaking on Israel or Palestine or Black Lives Matter or, the next presidential candidate, that's your voice, and you're more than welcome to use it for that.
It's your social media, it's your platform.
Your voice can also be used to just influence the people that you meet in your day-to-day life.
To be
or the
kind.
people that you talk to, spread happiness, joy, kindness.
That's also a good point that you make, because if you're constantly using your platform, so to speak, to talk about current events and to yell at people to make a stance and to yell at people they have to make a change and they need to go protest and they have to go make signs and stand on college campuses and yell free Palestine and all of that, honestly, you are causing a mass anger. You're not speaking kindness, even though you're speaking kindness to the people of Palestine and you're trying to speak up for people who are voiceless. It's causing more harm than good, because it's causing a collective pandemic, epidemic, whatever you want to call it. It's causing a sickness within our entire world of all of us living with major anger management problems, major problems with managing our emotions. All of us are yelling at each other, fighting on Facebook. All of us think that we are entitled to everybody listening to us having an opinion, and our opinion matters more than the next person because we're right.
Going to a social media platform to handle your issues is not the right answer.
People are skipping therapy and just going on TikTok.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Or going to your therapist to talk about your issues that you think are important. Why did it stop? Movie recording stopped. Did you change the card?
No, this is my video card.
Card 1 full.
Okay, I'll put a new card in. Hold on, we'll pause it. All right. Our bad. Well, really my bad. The card was full.
I lost my train of thought. I don't know. The point I think I was trying to get at was you don't need social media to voice your opinions and to voice what you think needs to be said. You know, people
Well,
are going straight to social media to say, free Palestine or
my heart hurts. I'm
my heart
crying.
hurts. Or,
How can somebody watch this and not cry? How can you have so little empathy? And the thing is,
get off social media.
it's not that I, as a person who's not sharing my opinion, lacks empathy. It's that I am trying to live a healthier life where I am thankful for what I have, and I'm not living in somebody else's trauma, because other traumas are going to come my way. And when they hit me, I don't need to be worried about a child in Hamas that I'm never going to meet, and I'm never going to be able to impact, and I'm never going to be able to have a face-to-face conversation with. I don't need to be seeing, first of all, I have a diagnosis of post-traumatic stress. I have complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Whenever I see things with how visual my brain is, whenever I see things like children with their heads bombed, or like whenever the Ukraine stuff was really, really on and popping on the internet, it's still happening, but it's all a trend. It's not on and popping like it once was. But whenever all of that was being shared frequently, and I was looking at bodies literally decapitated on the internet against my will, just logging on and just seeing that, it was really affecting me. I was having nightmares. I have flashbacks during my day because of my traumatic stress disorder, where I see something, and then throughout my day I'll be driving and I will just like get a vision of somebody's head being chopped off by ISIS, because I saw, whenever I was like 13, I saw a video of somebody chopping off somebody's head because they were a Christian by ISIS in another country. And that video has stuck with me, and I see visions of that stuff all the time. That is how that affects me. Therefore, I will not follow news outlets. If there's a celebrity that's constantly sharing stuff and using their platform to a point where it's like too much, I will unfollow them, because I can't handle looking at it. I don't know how everybody else is able to handle constantly looking at death and blood and guts and decapitations and rotting body. Like, I don't know how people are able to just look at that all the time and remain a happy, peaceful person. Can you?
No, they don't. And I don't know, it's, people constantly have to feel like they feel bad for someone, or they feel like they need to put themselves in someone else's shoes because their life is going better in their eyes than someone else. Does that make any sense at all?
Yes. And the thing is like we have 2 children,
you
right?
You don't have to put yourself in someone else's shoes just to feel bad for them, or to feel like.
Here's my view. Here's my view. You and I, we have 2 kids, right? We have 2 sons, and they are growing up. I could leave the house to go to a coffee shop and work for an hour, and then on my way home, I could get struck by an 18-wheeler and die. I can't control when I die, how I die, and how it's going to affect the ones around me. Or if you and I die in a car wreck and our kids are left behind. I can't control that. So what I'm trying to do is to protect my own peace so that I can cherish every moment I have on this earth. I don't need to be spending my time while my kids are asleep, sitting in bed, watching anything other than something that makes me smile. That's why I unfollow accounts or hit not interested on reels that are suggested to me that are extremely sad. I can't handle that. I only need good in my life. I've had enough bad. I had a really, really hard childhood into high school and beyond, and trying to get to the point that I'm at now where we're married and we have a very beautiful life. I don't need any more bad in my life. I've had enough of it, quite frankly.
Yeah, I won't get on social media very often throughout the day. Like, I'll post just stuff every once in a while. Sometimes I'll go on like a spurt where I'll post like every day of the week, and then I won't post anything for a month. But I will let people will send me, reels and posts all day long, but I'll let them sit there for 3 days just because I don't feel like opening that, and I don't feel like, spending the time of day just to open
Wasting away my time
that someone sent me that they thought was funny. Like I'm not saying it wasn't funny.
Now, granted,
And
whenever
I
it's
will
open,
eventually look at it, but even Katie will send me stuff.
I'll be like,
one
"Did you
day,
see what I sent you?"
And she'll be like, "Did you see what I sent?" I'm like, "No, I haven't opened it yet," and it'll sit there for 3 days, and I won't look at it just because I don't feel like it. Like you're not obligated to live on social media.
No,
and I feel like they feel like they're obligated to live through the eyes of a social media lens. You're not.
I think that TikTok moving into Reels, TikTok as a whole ruined our ability to be healthful, have a healthy relationship.
Short video content,
Short form
has
content, yeah.
ruined
Our ability to
human interaction.
healthfully be online.
This absolutely destroyed it.
Yeah.
Because whenever Instagram was just just photos, it was fine. It wasn't nearly as bad. But
Nothing about it was toxic.
No.
And
Whenever they
DMs?
introduced, short form video and honestly, Vine was probably the worst. Now, like Vine, yes, was funny, but Vine hit this thing where, because psychologically, like your attention span is shortening because now you only look for 6-second videos. The brain can, if it's not hooked in the first 2 seconds, it loses interest. So now you're fighting to get people hooked in the first 2 seconds. Well, once you've got them hooked, now you've got 4 more seconds, and that's the attention span of the brain at this point. Now that we've, manipulated the brain into thinking it only needs 6 seconds of serotonin release or 6 seconds of dopamine release. And then it's on to the next one because it loses interest because it just keeps repeating. So now you're on to the next video, and then 30 minutes later, you've scrolled and you've seen 100 videos. And then it transpired into TikToks, Reels, YouTube Shorts.
Well, I'd like to elaborate on my experience because I've had social media since I was 12. You, however, if I'm not mistaken, you got on Instagram because I was 12 when Instagram came out.
I had a Facebook only to play Facebook games until I was in like 6th grade.
Well, Instagram came out when you were 15 because I was 12 when it came out.
No, I
promise you. It came out when you were 15. It came out in 2012 or 2011 or 2012 because I turned 12 in October.
When did Instagram?
I promise you.
2010.
Yeah, no. Okay, so Instagram came out in 2010, but I remember the day that I was shown it because Peyton Gillespie and Courtney Gillespie, I was hanging out at their house after church, and Peyton had it, and she was showing me. It was the Instagram where all of the likes were like several scrolls long. Like you could see every username that liked it in blue.
I remember that.
It was in 2012 that I saw it for the first time, and that's when it blew up. It may have been made in 2010, but it got popular in 2012.
What did I have?
Twitter?
No, it wasn't Twitter.
Because Twitter had been around for a long time.
I don't know. Maybe it was either Twitter or Facebook. I don't know. One of those. I had those, but I just remember I have like this vivid memory of me in like 6th grade actually using my Facebook or whatever it was to post pictures.
What I noticed is whenever I got my Instagram when I was 12, and you could see all of the blue usernames under it wasn't a like count. It was, he's probably just fidgeting. It wasn't a like count. It was all of the people that liked it from your high school or your middle school or whatever. All of their names were written in blue under the photo. And you had if you got a lot of likes, you would have to scroll several scrolls to get past that person to the next photo. And that was your news feed. Then whenever comments were introduced, people were having conversations on comments. I remember wanting to like talk back and forth to somebody. I would go to their oldest photo and we would have a whole conversation on the public internet that nobody else was looking at unless they scrolled to that photo, because that's how we communicated before DMs. And then DMs happened and the comment section went from conversations and, oh, you're silly, blah, 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 rar XD. It went from that to,
RXD.
yeah, it went from that to she looks like a slut, or your face looks weird. I don't like how your face looks in that. You're smiling too hard. You've got forehead wrinkles. You've got Wi-Fi forehead, stuff like that.
Hey, bring back that brutal honesty though.
But what I'm saying is like, it went from innocent to DMs. Then we got Vine, and Vine, for the most part, started out pretty healthy for everybody.
Every one of them does. Every social media platform starts out
pretty healthy.
No, healthy.
Yeah.
Because it's something new.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, this is something new. It's a fresh start. It's blah, blah. Like
Vine, actually.
What's that one? The Be Real? Is that it?
Yeah, that one was
The
stupid.
Be Real app? Like everybody
Nobody's
was like,
even talking about it.
No, it was a thing for maybe a month, and I haven't heard about it since because it's there's no drama on it.
It didn't survive. Yeah.
If the platform does not have drama, it will not survive.
Yeah.
If you do not have
Because
an
it's not
ability,
entertaining.
if you don't have the ability to send your friend's picture to your other best friend and make fun of them, it's not going to last.
No.
Somebody's got to talk shit behind somebody's back.
Yeah. My thing is, like, whenever Vine came out, Vine was, honestly, for me, I loved Vine. Vine really was like a pinnacle of my like upbringing between middle school and high school. That short period of time that it was still around, it was so much fun for me. I didn't really get on the bad side of Vine. I got to like a few things where I would look at the comments and the comments would be ridiculous. But like for the most part, I would only go to the comments to tag Taylor in something so that Taylor could see it. Because you know how you would tag people. Mm-hmm. You couldn't DM it to people. Yeah. So I think Musically used to be TikTok. Mm-hmm. That's what it was before it was TikTok. Musically, I think, is where it got real fucked up. I'm not kidding, because you had the stupid ass videos of people like,
I forgot about Musically,
doing weird things with their hands with the music and then like making funny faces, and it's like super like stop motion funny, but also cute. You can make it really cute. You can make it thirst trappy, all of this shit. And then the comment section is just open. You can do whatever the fuck you want in the comments. And there's a DM.
It's a free game.
Yeah. And then Musically died. Instagram arose. Instagram was the thing that stood the test of time.
I'm sitting on a stool. If y'all see me fidgeting, I'm sitting on a bar stool, and it's not the most comfortable. We need to get me a chair.
We need to get two chairs, like two of the same chairs.
Y'all want to donate? Feel free.
Yeah, if you want to donate to the podcast, because we have kids to feed. Yeah. This equipment costs enough money. Okay. So
next.
Anyway, I think Instagram stood the test of time. And I think after Musically died and then TikTok came back, TikTok truly ruined everybody's brain. Oh, the way everybody thinks, the way, not even thinks, the way people don't think, the way people just like run with something that somebody else said. It's ridiculous. Whenever, oh my God, what gets me so bad is whenever I'm hanging out with a new person, say we go out to lunch or dinner with somebody that Logan works with, and there's a bunch of other people there that are mutuals of that person, and there's other military spouses that I haven't met before, or I'm on a military spouse Facebook page, and these are people that I haven't met in person.
Like, oh, I know you from this page.
But
what
gets me is I'll be in a group of people that I've never met before that I don't talk to often, and somebody will say, or since I'm a wedding photographer, I'll be at a wedding, I'll be in a bridal suite, and somebody will say, did you see where such and such did this? And it like cured cancer or something. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like some kind of off the wall shit. Like, did you see that they might have found the cause of cancer and how to cure it and blah, blah, blah. It's just stupid shit. Or did you see that chamomile tea can cure cancer? It's just fucking ridiculous. And then I'll say, no way. Where did you find that at?
TikTok.
And they'll say, oh my God, it's a TikTok video that I saw. They like put the sources on it. Where are the sources in the room with us? Because I think you're just saying that because you know how ridiculous it sounds.
Y'all need to TikTok time backwards and rethink your life and just be like, do some research. Read a book.
Read a literal book for once.
Read some literature. Please.
I want to get to the topic, though, that the title is named after, because that right there, the y'all are canceling the wrong people thing.
Cancel those motherfuckers.
So here's the deal.
Y'all got to cancel the chamomile tea cures cancer.
The reason why I wanted to name this, you're canceling the wrong people, is because, here's an example. Somebody going on The Bachelor, for example, a random girl going on The Bachelor, Matt James's girlfriend, fiance, girlfriend, whoever.
The girl that went to the plantation party.
If you're not aware of this lore, I'm going to fill you in. Whenever Matt James was the Bachelor of The Bachelor season, and the girl who won, well, it's not a winner. It's just like the girl he picks. When the girl that he picks like got shown, people went and dug. Who has the time for this? First of all, people went and dug for old tweets that she had tweeted and down her Instagram posts and just like all kinds of stuff. And they found out that she was in a sorority 5 years prior when she was in college. And she went to a party that was plantation themed and they wore like plantation wife outfits. It was more so like that era type of outfits. I don't even know
the 1800 dress that all the women wore on like
where they
homestead,
have 10,000 layers. Yeah. They have like 10,000 layers to the dress.
And it was at a plantation. It was.
I don't even think it was at a plantation. I think it was plantation themed, but I don't think it was.
I'm pretty sure they rented out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they rented out a plantation that was for events. It was a plantation turned into an event center somewhere where you
kind of like the Bellamy plantation in Wilmington.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Because people get married at the Bellamy plantation. Like, that's just what it is. Yeah. But like this girl, they dug up her tweets. Okay. And those pictures. The Bachelor that season, Matt James, was black. And Rachel, the girl who got in trouble for all of her tweets and got canceled, was white.
Rachel.
She had to get on Instagram and make, I hate this, those stupid ass apology videos. And then whenever they literally look so emotionally drained in these videos, they look like they've been beaten to death almost. Yeah. They're sobbing. Their eyes are sunken in. You go to the comments and they're like, this isn't enough. This apology is not enough. You can tell that this is fake. You can tell that she scripted this. You can tell blah, 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 blah. Nobody accepts the apology. That type of shit, you're canceling the wrong fucking person, okay? This is a person who went to college 5 years ago. She was a white person that was ignorant. She was an ignorant college student who, like many white college girls, go to themed parties. It was plantation themed. She probably wasn't even thinking about slavery. She was thinking about, I get to wear an outfit that looks like Little Bo Peep. That's all that's on your brain. I'm not defending the behavior of having a plantation party, going to a plantation party.
You're just saying that it wasn't malicious.
Well, it's not malicious, one. And two, why are you wasting your energy on that? Whenever people like fucking Morgan fucking Wallen are just like getting by scot-free after they've been arrested for public intoxication, like I think 3 times now. He is not good to his baby mama. He's not a very present father at all. He never talks about his daughter. He doesn't really care about his daughter. His ex-girlfriend that he had his daughter with has constantly talked about how like nasty and abusive and how he cheated on her. And then literally just a few weeks ago, he threw a fucking chair off of a balcony where people were down below it, could have hurt somebody really badly, got arrested for that. And people are listening to this guy's music. They're like praising his name. Don't know. I love Post Malone. Why did he do a fucking song with him? Why are we just letting this guy get off scot-free? He's obviously malicious. He's irresponsible. That girl, Rachel, she's not malicious. She's not evil. She's not doing anything wrong. Morgan Wallen, he obviously has a track record of being ignorant, not wanting to change it. He made a stupid apology video. And that apology video, he literally went right back over. And not only that, he was saying the N-word in literal 2020, saying the N-word as a white man who's grown past college age, literally had a baby on the way at the time. Like, you're canceling the wrong people. And if you like Morgan Wallen, I'm sorry. He's irresponsible. Like, too bad. Do a lot of people like his music? Yeah. That's great.
He's got good music. I just wish he wasn't a shitty person.
Yeah.
I will still listen to his music. It doesn't mean that I think that he's a great person.
All I'm saying is there's other people who are more cancelable than homegirl that went on The Bachelor that had a tweet 5 years ago where she went to a party that was plantation themed. There are way more cancelable people out there.
Yeah. That's like the NFL this past season when Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift started dating. Mm-hmm. Like everybody started coming for Travis. Why?
And then
what's the point?
The push.
The push to like.
Go ahead and elaborate.
He shoved Andy Reid, like he barely touched him. He just caught Andy Reid off balance. It happens. It's a
not only
game. Heightened emotions. Things happen. It's okay.
The video does look bad. The thing is he was running from a long distance and he couldn't slow down fast enough. He was trying to catch himself on Andy.
Yeah, I mean.
And then he yelled in his face because that's football.
Andy Reid came like in a press conference afterwards, and he was like, nothing about it. Nothing's wrong. We're good. No issues.
Everybody's like, he's abusing an elderly. Yeah, he assaulted an elderly.
Now the comments anytime Taylor Swift or Travis Kelce's like, this is the worst of the Kelce brothers. Jason's better. Blah blah blah. Like, okay, cool. Bro still makes more than you will ever make in your lifetime.
It doesn't change anything.
Season. It changes nothing.
You commenting
He's
that?
Still the greatest tight end to play the game.
You took time out of your day for no reason.
Still cleaned up his life. He still fixed his life, turned himself around after getting in a lot of trouble in college. He took the opportunity that was given to him, and he made the most of it because he wanted to get his shit together. You commenting about his shove on Andy Reid, it doesn't change anything. Or you saying that he's got anger management issues. You don't know that he's not working on that. Yeah. And he's not that person whenever the football helmet's not on. Like when the football helmet is on, he's got heightened emotions because he's got passion for the game.
And if you
really
literally
cares. It's his job. It is his job.
If you look at
he takes that helmet off, completely different person. And you can see that on his podcast, on his social media.
The videos of him and Taylor out in public.
Social media does not show everything. I understand that. But
it's evident.
It's very evident that he is not.
There's a lot of footage.
A bad person.
Yeah.
But for some reason, the NFL world,
and people
because he was
dating
Taylor Swift, and they were, I'm tired of seeing Taylor Swift. Okay, don't watch the game.
Don't watch it then.
Don't watch.
Fuck you.
I don't know what to tell you. Don't watch Chiefs game. Don't follow NFL on Instagram.
It's also people who are following Travis Kelce.
Don't follow Travis Kelce. Follow your sports team on social media and nothing else.
Well, what also gets me is people are acting like that's not the game of football. People are acting like people on other teams aren't screaming in their coach's face saying, put me in, screaming with their veins popping out of their neck. That's literally...
I mean, they did the same thing with whenever Odell Beckham was like he just got to the league. Like he had heightened emotions during a game and he threw the field goal kicker's net that the kickers practice in. And it came back and it hit him in the head and they were like, yeah, you deserve that. You blah, blah, blah. Like, no, the dude's young. He's You got a lot of emotions. It's okay. Shit happens. But everybody
Also-
wanted to come for Odell at the time because Odell was on the top of his game. And he was playing the best football of his life, breaking records. It's only when people are succeeding that other people that are not at their level will bring them down.
It's also like the Matt
it's
Rife
sad.
of it all. Like Matt Rife.
Oh, Matt Rife is the best comedian. I don't want to hear it.
How he's literally the funniest
He's the
person on
funniest
earth.
person
And
on
on
earth
his
right now. I don't wanna
Netflix special, he made a joke about women that pissed a lot of women off. I watched his Netflix special and I laughed.
Yeah.
You want to know why I laughed?
Because it's funny.
Because it is literally comedy. It was a comedian show. It was a comedy special. A comedian was doing as such. Comedians are known to be vulgar, dark, over the top. They push boundaries. They go past the borders. If you can't handle you as a woman being joked about, then comedy's not for you. He's joking about
Don't watch
men the same way he's joking about women. But because a bunch of women watched his show and said, "How dare you say that? How dare you say that about women? Women are the strongest people." That's not the fucking point. It's comedy. It was meant to be said to get a shock value and a laugh. Mm-hmm. And you're canceling the wrong fucking people.
And you took the bait. You took the fucking bait.
And Matt Rife, he's actually like a really wholesome guy. He recently lost his grandfather, and his grandfather and him were really close. He talks about his mom a lot. He's gotten emotional at the end of some of his specials before. He's talked about like his past with depression. Like he actually is a really good guy. Aside from his dark jokes, I make dark jokes.
I've never seen, anytime he's done crowd work, I have never once, it's never panned
to
that
somebody being
person
pissed
and then being pissed off. Like,
or offended.
you know, people, white, black, Asian,
Disabled,
wheelchair, anything. They will all be crying, laughing.
And disabled
because
people,
he is hilarious.
deaf people, and like wheelchair bound people that attend his shows. He's even like, there's people that have come out and said that they're glad that he includes them because so many people are afraid to include them in the jokes because it's such a touchy subject.
Well, because they're afraid of being canceled.
Yeah.
Again, you're canceling the wrong people.
Matt Rife is including people. He's just joking about people as much as he jokes about people like himself. He jokes about white people saying the N-word all the time. And he used to be a white person that said the N-word. And he's been very vocal about that too. And that to me is more impressive than a Morgan Wallen who says it and then he's like, "I'm sorry." And then he goes back and continues to get arrested several times and then isn't a good father and all of this stuff. But y'all love Morgan Wallen, but you hate fucking Matt Rife because he talked about women. Like, you are canceling the wrong people. And I hate to keep harping on Morgan Wallen. I know a lot of people like him, but that's just a good example. Like, that's just the easiest example I have at the moment in my head. There are several other people that you could relate back to that are more cancelable than other people. I would argue that Dave Chappelle is way more cancelable than Matt Rife.
Dave Chappelle has
He's out of
some
pocket.
crazy shit.
He has said some shit that's like a little bit too far in even my head for comedy. But people are mad at Matt Rife and calling Dave Chappelle the GOAT of comedy. Like, it's crazy to me. And it's because Matt Rife is a brand new guy who's actually hot for a comedian. And people are pissed that he's a hot comedian.
I'm only going to say this because you can cut it out if you want to. And it's up to you.
Okay.
Dave Chappelle doesn't get shit because he's a black man.
Because
Matt
now,
Rife will get all the shit in the world because he's a handsome white man.
I can elaborate on that because here's the deal.
And you know,
now,
here I am stepping around on eggshells because I'm like, well, great, somebody's gonna talk shit and saying
it's
that
the
like
truth.
I said that because he's black, he's not getting canceled. Because he's white, he's getting canceled. Like,
it's like the Jack Harlow song that he wrote. He says because of his success, what is this lyrics? It can't be.
oh yeah, it's I love Jack Harlow. I should know this. It must be my skin. Yeah.
I can't. Okay, so the lyric in the song is, "It must be my skin. I can't think of any other reason I win. I can't think of an explanation. It can't be the years of work I put in. It can't be the way that I've stuck with the same friend.
Talking about how like
It can't be the swag
the
I
only
got when I
reason
walk in."
they say that he's successful is because he's white. Like, no, he put in the work. The dude performed. He's talked about openly that he performed in front of like 4-person crowds whenever he first started out. Like, no one listened to his music.
And I want to say he wrote that because there's discrimination now in the opposite way. Don't hear me wrong on this.
Flipped.
Do not hear me wrong on this. I'm not pulling the reverse racism card here. What I am saying is there is major oppression in the Black community. Black Lives Matter. I believe that to my core. I believe in that movement. I understand why it happened. I understand the oppression and the anger that Black people are experiencing. But it's whenever the community, like a small piece of that community, and then other white people who are angry with the Black people who go over the top to show their solidarity, start taking things away from straight white men because they're straight white men and they are the most privileged. Like it is no point to argue. Straight white men are the most privileged group of people. But because of that, people are trying to take away things and make the odds harder on people like you. You're 26. Wow. You're a straight white man. You weren't around in the 60s whenever other people were causing Black people oppression.
Again, it goes back to my point. Whenever
you don't deserve it.
Whenever people in the military that were in and they fought in the GWAT and they were in Afghanistan in 2007, like, I am so sorry that I was in 3rd grade at the time you were shooting
you
people
didn't
in
fight
Afghanistan.
For this country.
Like, bro, shut up.
You weren't there responding to 9/11.
I respect the hell out of you for
enduring
the trauma and doing what you had to do. However, it does not make it okay for you to talk shit and tell me that I'm a pussy because I didn't go there, because I was in 3rd grade.
Exactly.
The same principles apply. I wasn't around in the 1860s. I didn't own slaves. I had no. That is the most fucked up thing ever, is to own someone, another human being, and make them work for free.
I didn't live when Martin
absolute
Luther
shit out of them.
Yeah, I didn't live when Martin Luther said the "I have a dream" speech.
I'm sorry that I wasn't alive.
Yeah,
doesn't mean that I should be. I shouldn't take the repercussions of that.
No,
and neither should anyone else.
Neither should a white woman.
Exists.
Neither should a young Black woman. Neither should a Mexican woman or a Mexican man or a man who is from the Ukraine coming to America. No, like anybody. I don't think that oppression on a race, I don't think that racism, classism, sexism has a place anywhere.
It even goes as far as the clothes you wear. If I decide to wear a shirt that has an American flag on it, for some godforsaken reason, I am now looked at by certain people as a racist.
He literally had to throw away or donate most of his shirts that look patriotic because of what a target it makes you to wear something like that.
Especially living in Fayetteville.
Yes.
Where the population is very 50-50.
The population of Black people here in Fayetteville is way higher than anywhere else in the state.
It's legit 50%.
Yeah.
Like 50% Black, 50% white. There's a mix of others. Those are the predominant races that you have here. So you can only imagine in the height of Black Lives Matter, if I walked around with, some Oakley wraparound sunglasses.
Or pit vipers.
Or some pit vipers, they'd be like, oh, that dude's a racist right there.
Because of the sunglasses.
It's because of the sunglasses I'm wearing.
And because he's white and male.
No. I like the sunglasses. The sunglasses are not racist.
It's ridiculous.
Please, later, let me take these sunglasses off. Put them on the table. They're about to call you the N-word.
I think that we are just
wrong.
As a couple and as people, we're just tired of walking on eggshells and changing things about our personality to make sure that people don't think that we're racist.
No. You can't say that because now you're going to say, now people are going to say, oh, your personality's racist. You got a racist personality? Like, shut up. No.
I'm the last person that's racist. I'm the last person. I'm not even, like, you can't even pull
It's not y'all, sorry. You people that listen to this, I'm sure that you're great people. Some people out there.
Somebody's going to get a hold of this
Somebody
audio
gonna see this
and
be
twist
like,
it
nope,
and cancel us.
nope. They said this. They believe
I'm so done.
they believe they should bring slaves back.
I'm so done with forcing people because of a tweet they posted 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 15 years ago. I'm so tired of people canceling people for their ignorance whenever they're not bad people. You're just digging to find something bad about somebody. Before I started this podcast, I used to be a person who was very ignorant. I came from a small white country town. I was very conservative Republican growing up. When I started this podcast, just on the off chance that it would get like famous, I went back on every single platform I could think of, Twitter, Facebook, any account that I've ever had. I either deactivated it or made it private or made it invisible to the public, or deleted the account totally to make sure. I didn't even go back to check if I had bad tweets. It wasn't about that. I did not want anything now or later to become cancelable, something that I said 10 years ago on the internet, because I've been on the internet that fucking long. I literally, when I started this podcast, it's ridiculous that I had to go back ages later in my life, whenever I was like a 12-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 16-year-old on social media, stupid, living in a small southern town, making sure that my X's and O's and I's were dotted, my X's and O's were crossed. Like, I had to just make sure. It's stupid. It's so stupid.
It's not even the fact that you were living in a small southern town. You were still finding out who you were as a person. You were still growing. You were still maturing. You had to find out, what you believe in. And people don't really, their brain doesn't.
People don't give
your brain
space
chemistry
for that.
doesn't really stop growing. What is it until you're like 30?
You're 25. No, your brain chemistry,
like
your brain's
34.
fully developed when you're 25, but the chemistry in your brain doesn't like get its full
It's not like,
markup.
is it like settled or something? Like it doesn't like settle or something.
I
like
just
that.
know that you.
I don't know.
you're-
I'm not gonna say that something that I don't know for sure.
Yeah, we're not going to talk out of our ass like people
Yeah.
on TikTok.
I'm not gonna talk out of my ass. But
Your brain's not even fully developed.
Until you're like 26, I don't know. You're still trying to figure shit out.
And even then, a lot of people still don't have it figured out.
Does it make it excusable that people are rude and hateful? No, it doesn't. But instead of hating them for it, I don't know, just point them in the right direction. Say, hey, maybe you should rethink what you're saying. Look into whatever X, Y, and Z, and really think about what you're saying. If they want to listen to you, that's great, as long as you have something intelligent to tell them. But don't speak out of your ass because you have an agenda to push. They might not even care what you have to say, and that's also okay. Because if everybody in the world was all peaceful and peaches and rainbows, we wouldn't exist. There has to be controversy in this world. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is.
Bottom line, I don't know if I titled this. By the time I edit things, I usually will start a podcast episode and I say, this podcast is going to be titled this. And I end up naming it something else that fits it better. I don't know if this is going to be named like you're canceling the wrong people, or if it's going to be named something
cancel
else.
culture.
Yeah.
But cancel culture is ridiculous.
No matter what I name this, by the time it's edited and I realize what we talked about the most and what encapsulates the full video, the bottom line is stop canceling the wrong people. In fact, just stop caring enough to cancel anybody. It's unhealthy for our brains to constantly be on social media looking for somebody to blame, to hate, who's done a bad thing, who's oppressing who. It's so horrible for your psyche. It's awful. Stop. It's terrible. That's the bottom line. Do you have a bottom line you would like to add? Or is that encapsulating? You go for it.
I don't know. My bottom line is Y'all just get on my nerves.
Everybody's just
Everybody
been
gets
getting on
on
my
my
nerves.
nerves.
We all
Everybody
need to
gets on my
just,
nerves,
we all need to, y'all remember the Nickelodeon, like, go outside day? What is that called?
Play through. No, y'all need to hit the play 60. The NFL did it like years ago.
No,
Y'all,
what was the thing where you got on TV after school and you couldn't watch TV for like 24
yeah,
hours?
Nickelodeon like shut off their whole
Yeah, what was
channel
it?
for like 30 minutes to an
No,
hour.
not 30 minutes. They
like
shut
an
off their
hour?
whole channel for 24 hours once a year. Yes.
It's like the get outside and touch some grass.
Yes.
Some of y'all need to touch some grass.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Go
Like,
touch some grass,
we
bro.
need Instagram
And
to
don't take your phone with you.
Yes.
Do not take it. Leave your phone inside. Go touch grass. Go walk around your neighborhood. Go lay out, tan. I don't know what you got to do. Leave your fucking phone alone.
Not
and don't
even-
post it on the gram.
Not even Instagram. We need the whole Meta, because you know Meta owns everything now. We need Meta to have a Nickelodeon outside
You know
play
what y'all
day.
need? Y'all need a JRTC rotation.
They aren't gonna know what the fuck that is.
14 days without your phone in the woods.
Doing
You ain't
military
gotta,
shit.
Nope, you ain't even got to do military shit. Just detox for 14 days. You ain't even got to go out to the woods. If you got to use your phone, call, text, that's fine, whatever. You got work to do.
I have said this a million times.
Detox.
If my job didn't rely on social media to survive, to make money, I wouldn't be on it. I've said this a million times. I mean that 1000%. I honestly, for the last 2 years, have just wanted to shut everything off and have a flip phone. And honestly, in about 2 years, whenever like things are more established and I'm just like homeschooling and we're a little bit more set financially and I can step back so that we can just like raise our kids and teach them, and we're just living off of like your income for us, like our plan is, I might just fucking get a flip phone and just be the fucking chuggy bitch that doesn't have a phone, because I'm so over it.
Not
I'm
the
so
granola.
I will be so granola. I don't care. Y'all can call me granola. I'm cool. I'm still gonna eat.
I don't know. My Instagram is not that bad. Because
Mine is.
This is gonna sound bad, but I've gotten my Reels page to where if it shows up on my Reels page, it reached the wrong audience.
Yes, but
It's
here's the deal.
bad.
Here's the deal. My Instagram, I've grown it to become something that isn't what it used to be. I've gotten rid of all of the news that like is paining me to see, all of the graphic stuff. Like if I come up on something like that's about Gaza or something like that, it's because somebody I follow from high school posted it. It's not because the algorithm gave it to me.
Yeah, I really keep like one news outlet on my social media, and it's really just for like work purposes.
Well, yeah, because you're in the military.
Like just to tell me like, hey, this is going on, just so you know. Like,
Here's-
okay, cool.
For me, if you're not in the military, if you're me, if you're just somebody who is existing and you have a lot of empathy and you can't really handle
If
seeing
you're
graphic
Steve working
shit,
a corporate job, you don't need it.
you don't need to watch the
don't.
news. You don't need to know what's going on in the world. You need to focus on your family.
Focus on your happiness.
Stay up to date on recall for lettuce for E. coli, maybe, but that's about it.
Yeah, the
like
red meat that was
red meat
red
that was
meat
recalled
recall
at
or something,
Walmart or some bullshit.
last week.
But like, I had somebody that was a boomer once tell me, because I said, I don't watch the news anymore. This was like a few months ago while we were staying in China Grove. I was talking to somebody and I can't remember who it was. And I said, I don't watch the news anymore because I just can't handle like watching the news. It deeply affects me. It makes my life harder. It makes me emotional. It makes me have anger issues. Like I cannot watch the news. It affects me too much. And that person was like, oh, you need to watch the news. You need to know what. No, I don't. No, I literally don't. You want to know what I need to do? I need to interact with my child. I need to not be short-tempered. I need to make meals and cook and have the energy to do so. I need the energy to reply to my business emails and edit my photos for my clients. I need to watch things that make me laugh, not things that make me cry and make my chest hurt and make my heart problems that I'm experiencing worse. I don't need that. You don't need to watch the news. If nobody else is going to fucking tell you this, I'm telling you this. Stop watching the news. If it affects you like that, stop. You don't have to know. You really don't, unless you're in the military. And even some people in the military, depending on your job, you don't
It really
need to
does
know.
just depend on your job.
You don't need to know.
Like if you're a dental hygienist in the military, you don't need to know.
If you're a physical therapist,
Yeah.
you don't
Once
need to
I'm
know.
a physical therapist, like I'm deleting all news outlets. I don't care anymore.
I'm staying in my bubble and I'm taking care of my kids
I
and
am
I'm protecting my peace.
My peace.
Yes.
Literally, what I was about to say is just protect your peace. And that sounds, even that saying kind of gets on my nerves a little bit because it's like, yeah, no shit, protect your peace. But for real, I don't know, just protect yourself.
Protect your family.
Mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, like all of it.
If you're short-tempered, your kids are going to get the brunt of that. Your spouse is going to get the brunt of that.
And
There's no reason.
It's not fair.
No.
It's not fair to them.
No.
They didn't deserve it. They weren't the ones that pissed you off. Now if they pissed you off, like sure they got what coming for them, but no one in this house pisses me off unless it's Derek just telling me no for no reason and I've had it. But a lot of times, like it's not even him that has gotten me to the point of I'm just fed up with it.
It's the
always
music, the
something
TV
else
on,
that has
the fan on.
it's a non breathing thing, something that is not breathing.
The
and has
TV being
life.
on, us spending too much time on our phone.
Technically, yeah, technology does it most of the time. Where it's just I'm on my phone.
If I'm on the Reels page and then he's like, "Mommy, mommy, mommy," I'm like, "What?" And it's really just the Reels.
It's because I'm not paying attention. I'm paying attention to the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And it's bad. And
nobody in this
I need to
house
fix it.
causes me any harm.
No.
This house, this is our
If I
safe
didn't like
haven.
you guys, I would have left you already.
Yep.
But I like you.
Yeah.
You guys are all right. So
We like
I stick
you.
around.
I like my kids. I like my husband. I like my life. I like my house.
Yeah.
I like my decorations, my little computer, my setup,
Our new plants that we got today.
our new plants,
We got some citronella.
our little gym that we've crafted in the garage.
Couple
Whenever
flower
you've been married
pots,
long enough,
rosemary.
whenever you've been married long enough and you've created a home with somebody, you will realize what we're talking about. Like if you don't have this yet, you'll realize once you have it.
You'll get it eventually. You'll get there.
You're going to get to a point in your life where being angry on social media, you're going to be fed up with it because you're going to see how much better life is.
Nate, I'm talking to you, big dog.
You're going to see how much better life is whenever you're not on the internet as much. And how, like, if you just turn your phone off and enjoy your living room for once and just be grateful that you have a living room, it's actually really nice. It's very nice. Mm-hmm. We have gone forever, and I'm going to have so much to
I have
edit.
a lot to edit.
But we're done.
It's at the ripe hour of 9:49.
We did a good job. I have to go out there and do some kind of Peloton because I told myself today I would restart after my streak of not being able to do anything because I've been so busy.
And I think I'm just going to choose shower and sleep.
Well, I'm going to
instead
go
of
sleep
workout.
after.
I've been lacking. My aura has been telling me, you need to sleep, big dog.
Well, I've been prioritizing sleep, so that's why I haven't been.
I got one hell of an HRV, but heart rate variant for people that don't know what HRV means. I don't really know what it is, but it says that I have a really good HRV, so it's cool, I guess.
I have been prioritizing sleep lately, so my fitness has literally just like not existed for like
Fitting these nuts in your mouth.
literally for like 3 weeks. For like 3 weeks straight, I have gone on a streak of not going out there, not even once, to take care of my body because I've been taking care of my mind by sleeping. So now that's the thing. Whenever you work and you're a mom and your husband has a job, you just have to pick and choose which thing you're going to prioritize. Usually I am prioritizing sleep and work. And then sometimes I need to prioritize fitness and work. But if work is not prioritized at all and I'm getting sleep and I'm doing my fitness, I'm doing great physically, but I'm living so stressed because I have nothing done. So I have to just kind of pick two. I can't have all three at once. I can only pick two at a time. So tonight I'm choosing work and workout, and then I'm going to get in bed late. It's fine. I'm fine.
I'm just going to wake up at a crack ass of dawn every day and go to work.
Yeah.
Until I'm 40.
Well, bitches, we'll talk on y'all bitches later.
It's been real.
It's been real.
This is the last one you'll see me at because I've been canceled after this. Because I said white men are being oppressed.
Goodbye. Good day, good night, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are listening to this. Toodaloo.
I'll be a piece of char after this. Deuce.
A piece of char?
Yeah, because I've been flamed for whatever I've said during this podcast because I've been canceled.
Okay. Bye.
Cancel the right people.
Period.
Adios.